Hello and welcome back. I'm Nicole, a cottage witch, and today I'm doing the Cozy Coffee Mug book tag by Literary Love 123. I'll link her video down below. It's very short, but quite fun. And because I'm a tarot sort of person as well, I may, for some of them, include tarot decks that fulfill the prompts. So the first prompt is Hex the Patriarchy, share your favorite women authors. So actually first I'll share the tarot deck. My favorite is Mary in the Sky. There we go. The Gentle Tarot. I love her work so much. I have this on the Grandmother's Oracle as well. And whenever she does the Kickstarter for her new My Friend Fire Oracle, I will get that as well. And my favorite women authors, I mean, there's a list. There's a list. It includes, I'm probably missing people, Isabel Allende, the Chilean, now American author. Virginia Woolf, who I'm currently doing a bit of a reread of all her books. Who else? Toni Morrison. Did I say Toni Morrison already? I love Toni Morrison. She was incredible. Emily Brontë, Charlotte Brontë, with many apologies to Anne Brontë. I liked her books. I didn't love her books. N.K. Jemisin, I love. The latest series, the one it's set in New York, didn't quite do it for me. But, you know, her next, whatever she writes next, I'll get. Nadia Hashimi, who wrote The Pearl That Broke Its Shell. Sorry, I was looking up on my bookshelf if that looked weird. She's really great. She's Afghan, but lives in the US now, I think. And Robin Wall Kimmerer, who wrote Braiding Sweetgrass, and I don't know, I don't even know if these are showing up. I don't usually have the camera this way around, so I'm just figuring this out. Anyway, Robin Wall Kimmerer has another book coming out, I think this fall sometime, called The Serviceberry, which I have pre-ordered, and I'm very excited also because I love Saskatoons, which is the variation of Serviceberry around where I live. The second prompt is never underestimate a woman who reads Stephen King books. Share your favorite fictional women character or characters. I don't tend to have a lot of like favorite characters as much as favorite books and authors. But I guess Jane Eyre, if I had to pick one, I would pick Jane Eyre. And for tarot decks, I'd pick the Heartwood Tarot because this, I don't usually like mice, but is that, I can't tell. Forgive me if it's not focusing. I'll get this figured out eventually. Anyway, I'm not like a crazy about mice person, but Adam Miller's artwork and Stephanie Burrow's decks are always just so beautiful. And like, look at this little guy. He's so cute. So he's my recent favorite deck fictional character, or she, because you know it's a mouse. Maybe it's a girl mouse. I don't know. Let's say it is. Prompt number 3, Edgar Allan Poe, share your favorite Gothic story or book. Where's the deck I picked for that? This is the closest I have to a Gothic deck, which is the Wild Women Oracle. My favorite Gothic books, though, are the classic ones. Not the classic, like original ones, but the Frankenstein. Yep, I need more light on my decks here. All right, noted for next time. I don't think I can fix that today. Jane Eyre, as I said, and Wuthering Heights, which I will be rereading this year for Gothlit November because it has been many a year since I've read that one, and I frankly can't remember it. I remember I loved it, but that was like 10 or 15 years ago. So, like, would I still love it now? I have no idea. But yeah, Gothic, I like it. Prompt number 4, Swiftea. Name your favorite autobi authors. Aside from all the ones I listed before that were my favorite women authors, Khaled Hosseini, who wrote And the Mountains Echoed. I've Thousand Splendid Suns, and The Kite Runner. I love his books. I love his writing. And I just ordered a Corinne Boyer book as well. And I will order Under the Dragon Root as soon as I can. And for tarot, the two that I pretty well definitely buy are Marrying the Sky and Three Trees Tarot, who did the Heartwood and Oak, Ash, and Thorn tarot decks, because they're gorgeous. Camp Crystal Lake. Share a book that makes you feel nostalgic. So the book I picked is Island of the Blue Dolphins by Scott Odell. He was a children's sort of middle grade author, and I haven't read this book in a long time, but from about the middle of elementary school into junior high, I read it at least once a year. And it's based on a true story, unfortunately, because it's a horrible true story, of an indigenous woman off the island, on an island off of California, who the Spanish packed all her people up and took them to California, and she was left behind. And so it's the story of her living there for like 20 years or something, and then moving to California, where she died of, I think, dysentery or smallpox, or one of those diseases she didn't have any way to fight, which is also the disease that killed off her entire people. Like, they're all gone now. I can't remember the name of them. I think they're related maybe somehow to the Aztecs, but they're off California. And yeah, they're all gone now. So it's a sad story. But the book is, I remember the book being really, really good. I haven't read it since, I think, junior high. But I still have it because it makes me nostalgic. And I'm not sure I want to reread it because I don't want to dislike it if I don't like it as much as I did when I was that young. And the deck that I picked for this is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer deck, because I didn't watch Buffy when it first came out in the 90s because I grew up in a fundamentalist Christian school, which censored everything and would not have liked Buffy, like, at all. It would have been considered, like, evil. A terrible influence of the devil is what it would have been considered. So I watched it later, once I was done university, and loved it because it's amazing. And so much fun and so ridiculous. So anyway, it's not quite like elementary school, like childhood nostalgia for me. Not that it's quite an elementary school show, but like in the 90s I was in junior high. So it's not quite nostalgia in that way, but it's still a little bit nostalgia because it's so much fun. And this deck is fantastic. The guidebook has myriad issues. I'm waiting for somebody to get the mini deck and say if the guidebook is fixed. Because then I might get the mini just for the guidebook, because there are a few characters that I have to look up, that, like, obviously this, when Buffy's mom dies. I remember a lot of the scenes, but I don't remember all of them. Yeah, Angel. There. Obviously I remember most of them. But, like, this character, I think I'd have to look up. Find out who she is. So, yeah. Oh, and I edged it in purple because, it might be purple overkill for some people, but I need more purple in my life, so purple. So that's the nostalgia one. If I can get the cards back in the box. And then the next prompt is Happy Halloween. Share a holiday-themed book you recommend. So I don't think I have any, like, straight-up holiday books, like fictional ones that are set at Christmas or Halloween or whatever. But I have a lot of nonfiction witchy books. So, I picked Walking the Twilight Path, a Gothic Book of the Dead by Michelle Bellinger, which I have not read. But it says, set foot on a unique spiritual path of personal transformation and rebirth, but first you must venture through the gates of death, which seems very Halloween to me. So that's what I went with for that. On the other side of the Halloween, whoops, making a mess as per usual. Halloween scales. This is the Boo Tarot, which couldn't possibly be cuter if it tried. Like, there's no way for this to be any cuter than it is, because, like, look at that. It's adorable. It is just the sweetest deck. And it does deal with, like, the cards that deal with difficult things are still in there. But, I mean, it is so cute. Look at that guy. He's adorable. Okay. The last, well, second last prompt is, this mug contains magic. Share a book you enjoyed that is outside of your comfort zone or typical genre. So I don't tend to read a lot of horror. I read Gothic fiction, but I don't tend to read a lot of straight up horror, like modern horror. So I have a book of classic horror short stories that I'm working on at the moment, but I did recently read A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher, which was a bit Gothic, a bit horror. I liked it. It was a lot of fun. I'll have to read more of her books and see if I like them as well. But yeah, I liked the style of her writing. It was a good time. And a bit weird. I'm okay with a bit weird. I can do that. This deck is a lot weird. This is the Somnia Tarot, which I really wasn't gonna get when it first came out. I was like, oh, that's a nope for me. And then it grew on me. So it does weird some people out because everybody has these shrouds over their head. But it's incredible. It's astonishingly beautiful photography if you can cope with the shrouds over people's heads, which a lot of people can't cope with, which is fair because it's a lot. Anyway, good night. But so even though it's very out of my comfort zone, I did come to love it. And then eventually I thought I'd try it, and yeah, I love it. It's beautiful. It's a brilliant deck for winter. Yeah, it's showing up very, I mean, that is very dark, that card. So is this one. There is an illustrated version that's a little less off-putting, let's say. I like this card a lot. But I actually like the off-puttingness of this one. So I prefer this. And then the last one is to take some bookish friends, which I'll do down below. Take some booktuber people I know who also like tarot things. Incidentally, of course nobody has to do this. No, it's a no pressure taking situation because, you know, time is always a factor. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. I'll link the original video from Jen down below as well, so you can go watch that because it was also a good time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.